Hi, this is Francisco. Thank you for listening to week 7 of Consultant Expert. We've been talking about a lot of different topics. This week, I just want to remind you guys that we're here located Latino Tax and Business Services at 7804 Midlothian Turnpike, Richmond, Virginia, 23235. Our telephone number is 804-269-7689. And nowadays, our schedule is a little different and changed for tax season until April 17th. It's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. So 9 in the morning to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Here we are for you guys. Last night our staff was talking to Virgil, let him know that we're here to about 1:30 taking care of some stuff. So we're trying to get it in, and we're here for you guys working. Come in, and our whole staff is certified, knows what they're doing. We can handle any tax situation, whether it be just regular individual tax, small business tax, or corporation tax. And want to touch base and talk about the subject of reporting all your income. Right, a lot of times people get confused with that, and also don't know what expenses they can put also. So remember, if you're an employee, just a regular employee, you're going to get W-2. A lot of times also you may have a retirement account. If you took out any money during the year, you might have forgot about it because the bills came up. You also get a report from the government to report on your tax return. If you have your own house, you're also going to get 1098, which you can report as expenses. Banks, if there's any interest earned throughout the year as well, going to send you interest income. So a lot of times I encourage people to think about, you may have had 2 different jobs, for example. You may have had one for just a week, a month, and then you kind of forgot about it because, life gets hectic sometimes. You'll have bills and things to do, and so I encourage people to sit down. You sure this is only W-2 you have? You didn't have another job? And a lot of times like, oh shoot, I forgot. So it's important to remember all your income you had for the year for W-2 and report that income, and then know what you can put as expenses. Because sometimes, an example, if you're an electrician, just an example, other jobs as well, and say you go from your house to warehouse, that is called commuting. Now let's say you go to a building and they send you other places in your own vehicle and you have to incur expenses. These expenses are tax deductible in the mileage. Also, if you have to purchase your own uniform, you can do these under employee expenses, 2106. So that legally there is certain expenses that you can put on your tax return, and a lot of times not just come in, hand the form, see you later, and that's it. And then no, legally you have the right to claim some expenses that you have, and actually have to have proof of these expenses. So it's very important to remember that and report that. So you're reporting all your income, and then there's certain expenses you can as an employee. Now we talk about 1099. If you're an independent contractor, remember you haven't paid taxes during the year. A lot of times people come with just a form to a tax base and they say, man, they told me I owe this amount of money. Well, what you didn't put is expenses, right? So they didn't deduct any taxes, so you can actually put expenses related with your job, whether you use your cell phone to receive calls, if you're a contractor. Some of that's deductible. Food expense, the daily, whatever you incur, say lunches, there's a percentage. A lot of times it's 50% of what you incurred. Insurance for your vehicle, mileage for your vehicle. So you're talking about the number you had. An example, if it's 30,000, after you put expenses, maybe you only made 10,000, right? So it's knowing what you can put in, and naturally not forgetting also, because a big mistake also with 1099s is maybe you work somewhere else and they send a 1099, or you forgot you did this job and it was $3,000. You do your tax return based on one 1099. Next thing you know, a year later, IRS, maybe 6 months now, they're pretty quick, sends you a letter saying you need to report all your income. And what happens? They don't put any expenses. They just charge you that amount. So basically the tax for that amount of income. So it's very important to remember this, that you want to make sure you have all your income. Is going to be beneficial to you because, number one, you're reporting all your income. Number two, you're reporting all your expenses, and you're doing it. To do any kind of amendment, naturally you can do it, but you're going to make sure you have proof for each income and expenses that you're putting in there. And the IRS will, if you underreport income, they will charge you the taxes for that, and naturally not, like I just said, not put any expenses. So very important to remember, again, just to reiterate, report all your income, and then know what expenses that you can report. Okay, W-2 and 1099. W-2, you can still, as far as do employee business expenses, and 1099, you have a Schedule C, which has several deductions that you can put on there. Just make sure you don't double dip. Don't listen to people that tell you go put repairs and gas and mileage and all these. No. A lot of times it's you put in gas, you put mileage, can't put gas. Gas, you can make sure you have a mileage log. mileage law, gas, you're going to have a receipt for each one that you put. So we're here to help you, all tax professionals here at Latino Tax and Business Service. Again, the address is 7804 Midlothian Turnpike, Richmond, Virginia, 23235. Phone number 804-269-7689. So please give us a call, come in, sit with one of our tax professionals. We can explain to you exactly your situation's particular. Everyone's different. Some may have a mixture of 1099 and a W-2, which is different as well, because naturally W-2 you may not be able to put certain expenses, right? If you don't it didn't incur any employee business expenses, whereas the 1099 you can. Or vice versa. So please come in to one of our offices. Also, we do have another office now, which Gabrielle's running. It's 3817 Jefferson Davis Highway, and that's Richmond, Virginia 23234, right across from what we call the Missile. It's HSO. It's right there on Jefferson Davis. Again, 3817 Jefferson Davis Highway. Gabrielle's managed that, running that. The staff is well trained with us, and we all work together. So here at Latino Tax and Business Service, we're here to handle any tax situation you may have, whether it be personal, business, corporate. So thanks again for listening to this week number 7. Look forward to talking to you guys next week about another subject. Have a good week, and remember to come in and get your taxes done.